How's it going, everybody? We're back with more WLDL. It's been a while for me. I have been pretty busy as of late and haven't had a chance to cast one of these games. This is, I think, going to be the last match of the group stage. Playoff brackets are on the horizon, should be coming out very soon. There's like one other series from like week 2 that never got played, but it looks like that's just not gonna get played. Those teams are just gonna split the difference on it. And this one's getting snuck in a little late, but better late than never. I'm excited to see it. As you can see from our bracket, and I should probably mention the teams that we're gonna have here. It's gonna be Marci Beaucoup versus Make Turbo Turbo again. Right in the thick of it, these are two of the top teams in the Wex Division. Especially as Looming Fruit and Special Agent Blob have been the ones going up a division more often. So Marci Beaucoup and Make Turbo Turbo again are really competing for like that top spot. Maybe the second spot. It's looking like Looming Fruit probably going to move up for the bracket, and then Special Agent Blob will probably get the #1 seed. And so it's going to be coming down to this series to determine the next seed after that. We are already into the draft as well, so let's throw ourselves right on over. For bans, we've got the Monkey King, Razor, Bristleback taken out on the Marci Beaucoup side, and Make Turbo Turbo again banning out Viper, Lion, Pudge, and Dragon Knight. Marci Beaucoup, they're going to grab their Spirit Breaker. This is one of Seth Lord's specialties. The Spirit Breaker and Pudge are really this player's like two specialty heroes, and they're one of my favorite players to watch in this league. It is really like the games always feel very centered around these like high initiation position 4 heroes that Seth Lord plays.
5 seconds.
In a way that like no other team really plays, and it's cool to watch. We're going to see Make Turbo Turbo again pick up the Shadow Demon, the classic counter to the Spirit Breaker, being able to throw the Demonic Purge on the Spirit Breaker makes it a lot harder for the Spirit Breaker to do what he wants to do. We'll see how much that comes into play as we get into this game. Sand King Ursa are going to be the bans for the second phase for Marci Beaucoup. Take a look at...
to go.
So yeah, the Razor we've been seeing a lot of. Ursa. Only a couple Sand King games for Make Turbo Turbo again this year. Yeah, the Dragon Knight getting banned out. That's one of Marci Beaucou's favorite ores to play. They've played it 6 times. A pretty good success. The Viper as well. Yeah, 8 games, 75% win rate with the Pudge. So that's why that hero gets banned out. And Pudge has been looking even better. I would say more in the core role with his new, like, right-clicking facet. I think the support Pudge kind of misses the player's hook facet. But I want to say we typically, even from the 4 position with Seth Lord, tend to see them move up higher in the net worth and kind of end up being an extra core anyway. So I think that would be a scary thing to have in the Seth Lord's hand.
10 seconds.
Earthshaker going to be the other ban for Make Turbo Turbo again. How much of this have we been seeing from Marci Beaucoup? Not too much.
Radiant's Pit.
They have played it. Am I just missing it? Lich gonna get picked up. Oh, there's the Earthshaker. Yeah, they played it a couple times and won with it. So Lich Shadow Demon gonna be your support duo. Pretty good support duo to have into the Spirit Breaker. Lich has that basically instant stun from the Sinister Gaze. That can be a good way to cancel the Spirit Breaker's charge.
5 seconds.
And Shadow Demon, like we said, the classic counter. A little bit of a squishy backline support duo. Definitely ones that can kind of handle the Spirit Breaker. We get the Vengeful Spirit picked up on the other side from Marci Beaucoup. I'm guessing these are our 4 support heroes. I think Venge Core has pretty much disappeared from the meta with
10
the
seconds to go.
changes to Universal Heroes and her not being a Universal Hero anymore, although that would probably be better for her case to be a Venge Core, given how they changed Universal Heroes. But I think a big part of what made her work was getting those 10 all stats from the early Aghanim Scepter, and that's not nearly as valuable for her anymore. See what they're going to follow this up with. They've got good control now with the support duo. You've got the armor reduction from the Vengeful Spirit that you could look to play into. Generally nice to have a high physical damage core. You're basically always going to have one of those anyway, so it's not like that's a huge ask to find a place for in your draft. But yeah, something like Wraith King in particular is going to be able to capitalize this, and this is a Marci Beaucoup classic as well. 4 games on the Wraith King this year, 50% win rate for it. It's like Wraith King Dragon Knight is like their bread and butter for the carry position.
10 seconds to go.
That's what you see them go with most often when they have it available.
5 seconds.
Even more control, another point and click stun, which is going to be nice to work with for them. Let's see what make Turbo again want to respond with. Gotta look for something that's kind of going to protect these 2 supports in your back line. Like, you want a frontline hero, but you also want something that these guys are going to play around. And you can't... It's scary to go more backline. Like, if you try to go with a couple cores that are just, like, in a solid wall and then go for, like, a sniper or something, you're gonna have a bad time in the into the Spirit Breaker. Probably your only option there is the Drow, just because of how well she matches up into the Spirit Breaker with Gust, just being like a guaranteed cancel when she's getting charged.
Dyer's pick.
Until Invis is picked up. There's going to be your big front wall, in the form of an Underlord. Nice bit of control. He's got good circles, good damage. If you go for the cleave facet, you can do some really crazy right-click damage. We haven't really seen that turn into like a carry Underlord build yet. I think that's been experimented with a bit, but I don't think it's really come into a full build. Typically just seeing classic Underlord offlane, nothing too different about this hero. Can be played, like, if you think you'll have the space to farm, then that cleave talent is nice for getting a ton of farm. It's also just like, you eventually get, like, crazy range on the cleave, because it scales with the aura. Juggernaut will be the carry, so yeah, nothing crazy with the Underlord, and typical leaving the mid pick for overall last. Juggernaut, absolutely solid carry. Feels like he's been suffering a little bit as of late. He's not quite as powerful as he used to be, but having that debuff immunity is going to do a lot to protect you from some of these stuns. Weaver, they're thinking back to the combo with the Vengeful Spirit Wave of Terror. The armor reduction now between Vengeful Spirit and Weaver is something you really have to worry about. If you have a bug and a
10 seconds
Wave of Terror on you, the Wraith King is going to one-shot you if you are one of these supports, and he's gonna like two-shot you if you're the Juggernaut. Make Turbo again is going to really have to think about their armor here. We're going to need to see some Solar Crests on the supports, and probably an Assault Cuirass on the Underlord at some point. Shivas as well, I'd expect to see. That's just a good item on that hero anyway. And Underlord loves building auras, so like that's what's going to help them out here. Maybe even a Crimson Guard, mitigate the physical damage, not with armor, but with the barrier. So it's not, the be-all, end-all here that they're gonna just get run over by armor reduction. See, the Phoenix and Outworld Destroyer get banned out. Have they played a mid-Phoenix, or are they thinking You know where the Spirit Breaker's going. I don't know if they're thinking there's a possibility of Avenge Core. And then Puck Quap banned out, so classic mids. Marci Beaucoup absolutely hate Puck. They've banned it 8 times this season. And I'm kind of right there with them. I feel like my team loses to that hero a lot as well. These heroes have only been banned by Make Turbo Turbo again. They've not played a Puck or a Quap yet, but popular mid heroes. Ooh, a Silencer. I feel like this is like a position 3 Silencer. Maybe they're just gonna straight like have Cephalord play core. And then Legion Commander, very quick response there. Interesting. I like the Legion Commander because you're going to be able to get on top of this Silencer, who presumably is going to be a core. Yeah, I think I've seen Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey play a core Silencer before. Currently has the Irrepressible facet. I think is the Can't Be Silenced. I don't know if you... Okay, yeah, there it is. Switch to the Reverberating. I was like, I don't think you need that in this game in particular. No spicy all chats for the draft. How about hats draft? Good hats on both sides. Immediately I'm leaning more towards the Make Turbo Turbo again hats. They are missing a set on Shadow... maybe he has like a very simple set. I think this like neck piece. Yeah, I think that is a set. Shadow Demon has recently gotten some better sets, but I think before it was pretty slim pickings. This Legion Commander looks sweet with the Arcana, and I really like this gold armor set. The Underlord is a classic one. Lich is decked out. The Juggernaut with the classic mask on top of, like, I guess that's not the Arcana, but just this, like, lightning set. I kind of like what's going on here. It feels a little goofy, but I think it works out pretty well. Marci Beaucoup, they're pretty decked out, but they've got more of the, like, classic sets. Okay, no, that is the Jug Arcana. Now it's showing up. Yeah, the double Arcanas make it tough to beat. I think that makes up for the Shadow Demon. So Hat Draft's going to go to Make Turbo Turbo again. As for who I favor in the actual draft, these are a lot of the heroes that Marci Beaucoup like to play. You've got nice global presence between the Silencer and the Spirit Breaker. You do have the global response from the Underlord as well. And I think the plan's a little more straightforward for Make Turbo Turbo again. There's no, like, big team fights in this game, which I find interesting. Like, your big team fight stuff is going to be, like, your Underlord coming in and throwing down a Pit of Malice. Like, that's the biggest control there is. Or, like, the Spirit Breaker charging through. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be, like, where, like, Relapse Gamer diving on the back line is going to be really scary for these two supports. They're probably going to need, what is going on with the terrain there? I have not seen that bug before. Hopefully just a visual bug. They're saying Relapse Gamer getting on these backline supports, they're gonna need like Ghost Scepters, they're gonna need duels, Force Staff, whatever they can do to get away from this Weaver is gonna be the name of the game for them. Especially when they're getting their armor reduced by the Vengeful Spirit as well. Wow, this river is completely borked for me. Is it the same on this side? It is. That's crazy. There was a patch right before, like a small patch earlier. We're gonna get the full 5v5 first blood. There's that Pit of Malice into a huge overwhelming odds. Talismanic is gonna get brought down low and already gonna go down. See if they can get the turnaround onto Hopox, who spun in, but Cephalord falling low as well. It's gonna be 2 kills for the side of Make Turbo Turbo again to get things started off. Relapse Gamer wants to try to find revenge, and they will find it. Shikuchi forward. Can they get out, or will they pay with their life as Hopox goes down? Gonna get the TP away? No! Lil Bok Choy is right there with one last Frost Blast. So 3 dead on the side of Marci Beaucoup to start things off. Excellent start for Make Turbo Turbo again, who only lose their Juggernaut in trade. This, if you're seeing this and wondering if one team has already won a game, no, don't worry. It is... they're just... I think it wasn't put in correctly in the lobby when they set it up. Let's see. It's mid Legion Commander versus Silencer, the classic mid matchup that we've all seen before, and Legion Commander already level 2, so already tough for Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. Legion Commander getting lots of XP from that first blood fight. Which way did the runes go? Marci Beaucoup did end up with 3 of the runes, so that lessens the sting of that fight a bit. Okay, so this is an offlane Weaver. Yeah, this is an offlane Weaver. Seth Lord is not farming. That's what you mostly expect. And then big stuns in the Marci Beaucoup safe lane between Talismanic's Wraith King, Raiden's Vengeful Spirit. Raiden Waffle eats Pancake. That one's gonna throw me off. Squaring off a little bit, but they'll both go their separate ways. And then Ronan Swanson on the Underlord here in the offlane. These are all lanes where we can see kills happen for sure. And we see top is already the one with some action. Seth Lord and Hopox pretty low. I'm going with the I guess the full Russian style translation or reading of this name would be Hapok. I don't know exactly how it works. I know the X's are said like H's in Russian, because there's the player Havost as we miss a kill. We did at least see First Blood, but we are going to miss Waffle. Waffle eats Pancake, bringing down Raiden. Get banished. Clicked on by their own illusions. Up top, though, they're going to get the kill on Hopox, as I was talking about before those kills happened. Happy to be corrected if I am wrong about how to pronounce that name. That just feels the most natural to me, so that's what I'm going to go with for the moment. Might choose to check in with their captain after... Ooh, the cancel! That's what we talked about with the Sinister Gaze when we saw this hero picked up in the draft. Seth Lord going for the charge on Lil Bok Choy, but able to cancel. Phillips Gamer is going to get in and kill off the Healing Ward, also get in for some more Shuchi damage. Keeping Lil Bok Choy low. We're going to get some turnaround damage here with the Frost Blast. See, eventually you'll have a pretty deadly combo in the... another cancel with Sinister Gaze. The Seth Lord looks again the Hopox. That's going to be pretty annoying for this Spirit Breaker to deal with. Yeah, the Frost Shield plus Blade Fury gets a little scary once Lil Bok Choy levels up the W. See if that comes into play. In the mid lane, Legion Commander off to a pretty dominant start here. So we'll have a little bit of a mouse issue on the Make Turbo Turbo again side. 20 and 7 to 7 and 2, that is... that is a tough start for Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. There are a lot of fun names to say in this one. And I'm a little rusty, so we're gonna see how we hold up with getting our tongue tied here. See, how are our other lanes going in terms of blast hits? Pretty even between Relapse Gamer and Hopox. And then we've got Ronan Swanson off to a bit of a lead over Talismanic. So far, Make Turbo Turbo again, winning the lanes. Not too much of a surprise. We're going to see going for the solo kill under the tower. Trash has arrived, brings down Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. That's going to get this Legion Commander off to a pretty scary start. We're probably going to see some early rotations as soon as level 6 is picked up. Op, Bok Choy, and Hookbox still sitting pretty low here. Good amount of harass between the Weaver and the Spirit Breaker. Down bottom. Waffle eats Pancake. Couple levels in Shadow Poison. I like going that build as well on the Shadow Demon if you want to play aggressive. Ash has arrived nearly at level 6, grabbing that water rune for the bottle. Ooh, Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey going to be in a little bit of trouble. Gets the duel off of a creep dying. I don't know if they're going to have the kill here. They will not. Charge coming out as well. Cephalord is going to connect here. Gets the bash. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey setting up, laying in damage. Not going to quite be able to finish off the Legion Commander, but that's going to give the Silencer a little more space to operate. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Ronan Swanson bringing down Raiden. Still dealing some damage to Talismanic. Up in top, Relapse Gamer brings down Lil Bok Choy. Go back over to the Wraith King, who looks like will be able to escape. Cephalord going to reconnect up here. Lilbok's looking for the charge away, but taking quite a bit of right-click damage. Able to kill off the bugs, but it's not going to be enough to save their life. Relapse Gamer finishes off the kill. Lil Bok Choy not able to TP in time after the respawn. Down bot, Talismanic rooted up, does have some wand charges. Waffle eats Pancake a little bit low, but getting some nice Shadow Poison stacks here. Probably not going to be enough to kill when they pop, but it's going to bring them quite low. Okay, yeah. Quite enough. There. Rotation from Trash has arrived. Does get the dual victory there. It's action all over the map now. Ooh, they're going to get the Banish into their root. Talismanic's going to be in trouble. Shadow Poison stacking up again, and it's going to go down. Raiden and the Ghost of Talismanic going to try to get the revenge kill onto Ronan Swanson. They have the regen from the wand, and should be able to back away safely. Raiden still wants to find this kill. Has to be a little bit careful, though. Ronan Swanson will be backing away. They get the stun. No more Wave of Terror. A couple more right clicks. It's not going to be enough. 7 minutes coming up. Cephalord going to get the stack and pick up Wisdom Shrine. Oh, down bot. Waffle eats Pancake, maybe looking to turn it around. How did Talismanic finish that off? Oh, just got in... Huh. I'm confused where Waffle Eats Pancake was standing there. Up top, we get there just in time to see Lil Bok Choy die. I'm one step behind all of these kills here. We got Raiden with a low health rotation up here. Double Windlace build. Tranquil Boots and a Windlace. Likely looking for an early drum. Especially on a hero like Vengeful Spirit, I really like the idea of getting drums early. I used to play this hero a lot. I haven't in a while. Trash has arrived. Looking to set up on Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. Raiden is here, ready for the save, and Cephalord charging in as well. So Trash has arrived. Not quite going to commit. They do get the haste rune on the Silencer as well, and now the stun. Frost Shield is there, but Relapse Gamer coming in from behind as well. The Bok Choy gets the Sinister Gaze. Cephalord still going to be charging through. There's one double kill for the Cephalord with the charge hitting to. Ronan Swanson does come in with the Fiend's Gate, going to try to get the turnaround kill onto Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. Waffle Eats Pancake is going to set that up as well with the Banish, so they'll at least get one kill for their money. But I mean, this is what I'm talking about when you give this guy Pudge or Spirit Breaker. Just like changes the tone of the game, and able to make some magic happen there with that charge through double kill. Trash has arrived, did not commit the duel there. Does have it available. Talismanic has Reincarnation up, though. I believe you still get the duel even if you even if you just pop the Wraith King ult. Relapse Gamer is going to find the kill on Waffle Eats Pancake in the mid lane, with plenty of help from the Spirit Breaker and a little bit of help from the... Death Lord with the Phase Boots done, looking at the Shadow Blade next. They're getting some scouting done up top. Ronan Swanson and Trash has arrived. Going to be scouting something out down bot, maybe seeing if they can find Talismanic alone. Pancake joining as well. Ronan Swanson can get things started with the Firestorm and the Pit of Malice. Talismanic turns around, has the stun. Lots of damage coming out from the skeletons on Trash has arrived. Does have the overwhelming odds available, and the Reincarnate is going to be popped for the first time. Trash has arrived still low. Is going to commit to the duel, though. Underneath the tower, it's going to be close. The win goes to Talismanic and the tower and skeletons. Ronan Swanson... They are going to finish off Talismanic. Seth Lord charging forward as well, trying to find their return kill. Pit of Malice to keep the Spirit Breaker at bay. This Pit of Malice is going to be a problem as well for the Spirit Breaker charging through. In the end, it's a 1-for-1, but this 10 damage on the Wraith King could get scary. This graphical bug with the new river, I was just playing games earlier tonight, but it patched between those games and this game. Ooh, they're going to set up on Trash has arrived here again, have the Frost Shield, and going to be able to get under the tower. If Cephalord wants to finish this charge. Ronan Swanson lurking in the area, this could be dangerous for Cephalord. Doesn't have enough mana for the Nether Strike, he's going to get caught in the Pit of Malice, but the move speed and the Bulldo is going to be enough to get them away. Marci Beaucoup bringing the numbers here in the mid lane. Cephalord is forced to go back, but Relapse Gamer lurking in the shadows behind the tower. Polino's Great Uncle Bailey setting up. Charge forward. Cephalord's going to come back in. Relapse Gamer going to look to get some damage in with Shikuchi. Set up with the bugs. Here comes the charge. Global Silence means there's not going to be anything they can do to protect Trash has arrived, and the swap back from Raiden means they're going to find Lil Bok Choy as well. Marci Beaucoup battling back from an early deficit. One of these do I have net worth on? There we go. And yeah, 2 cores at the top of the net worth here. 3k net worth lead for Marci Beaucoup. So despite the 3 kills to start the game, they're now getting the tempo going. Nice Pit of Malice to protect Waffle Eats Pancake, but the Nether Strike is there. They're going to have the TPs coming in, but Waffle Eats Pancake already down. Here comes the folks. It's going to be the first of the Omni Slashes we see, and it's going to be enough with the help of Ronan Swanson to bring down both of the supports on the side of Marci Beaucoup. Box maybe looking to chase for more. Relapse Gamer a little low on mana, not enough for the time lapse, enough for one more Shikuchi. Juggernaut's a pretty fast hero as well, especially with those phase boots. Face is on in this oddly tiled river. Yeah, seeing the lack of mana here. Just going to be 1v1 square up. Shikuchi to try to escape again. Trash has arrived, though. Has arrived and is looking for a duel. This would be a nice setup to turn it into one. Fox might just pick it up, might get the deny. No, will be denied. The chance of deny. And the duel victory goes to Trash has arrived with some extra for the Juggernaut as well, which is a nice little pickup for them. Cephalord does complete the charge into all 3 cores. Raiden coming to back them up. Has the stun. Talismanic here as well. Pit of Malice is going to break this up a little bit, and the Healing Ward going. Going to force the side of Marci Beaucoup to back away. Polino's Great Uncle Bailey getting off to the side of the map. Yeah, when I said that Cephalord often ends up kind of being more of a core, already out ahead of the mid laner on their side. But I think this is kind of how Marci Beaucoup operates. And they all know what they need to do, and it's been quite successful for them throughout the season.
Guess what's happening to Dyer's bottom tower?
Facing forward, did have the sentry down to Ronan Swanson, able to prepare for the Relapse Gamer's arrival with the Pit of Malice. Trash has arrived, has the duel available. See if they look to find something. No Blink Dagger yet, just Phase Boots Blade Mail on the Legion Commander, who had a great lane to start things out, but has been a little stagnated after the first couple duels did not pan out. Has found a couple victories now, though. On... Oh, that is a dragon. For a second, I thought this was going to be like a different blade for playing as Great Alpha-Bailey, which seemed crazy. Top maybe looking to set up on the Juggernaut. Relapse Gamer. Also with the Dragonlance, working towards an S and Y. Charge onto Hopox. They do have Ronan Swanson in the area. Global Silence is out, though. That's going to secure the charge. Another strike back. Stun is there. No chance to spin. Bring down Lobok Choi as well, who does get off a good Chain Frost. Ooh, and Trash has arrived, getting there just in time to pick up a return kill and a duel victory on Raiden. So not a... I mean, still a good trade for Marci Beaucoup, but at least getting something out of it with that duel win. I'm so curious. Next, if there's another pause, I'm going to ask the teams if their stuff also looks crazy. Oh my... Oblite's Pena getting hit by 2 bashes from that charge? A crazy amount of damage. Big wave of skeletons with the siege creep here. Talismanic can be getting some good damage onto the tier 1 tower. Looks like this one's going to go down. Raiden waiting in the area. And yeah, there's the early drums. I was starting to talk about this and then some fights broke out. I like the idea of the early drum. Ever since they removed charges from it, I feel like it feels a lot better to pick it up early. They're going to get the stun. The charge is connecting. Lux is going to turn, but a very unlucky Omni Slash. And another strike's going to be there. They bring down the Juggernaut again. Skeletons there, bailing out Raiden. And Swanson's going to be the one that comes in to defend the tower. Relapse Gamer may be getting pinged out here, but who's hunting who? Block Choice sees this, has the Sinister Gaze at the ready. Shikuchi away, though. It looks like Relapse Gamer will be okay. You have Dust on their supports. Very good. Relapse Gamer is going to go in for some harass onto Trash has arrived. Supports have backed off a little bit, but it looks like Relapse Gamer mostly just wanting to take control of this lane. Down in the bot lane, 3 heroes for Marci Beaucoup, make it 4 with Seth Lord lurking in the back. Gonna bring down this bot tier 2, or at least try to. Talismanic getting a little bit low, Lobok Choi TP in, and finishes off the first life of the Wraith King with the Frost Blast, but now swap back from Raiden into the Global Silence, means Lobok Choi is going to trade that singular kill on the Wraith King with their own life. If make Turbo again, able to capitalize on that at all. It's level 2 Wraith King ult, but it's still pretty long. Actually, no, that must have been level 1, and then they got level 2 off of the kill. It's more than the level 2 cooldown on it, currently. Blink Dagger on the way for Trash has arrived. Certainly not be Trash arriving. That will be a pretty nice treasure to start hunting for more kills. Maelstrom done on Hopox, able to farm up. Seth Lord charging up under the tower. The damage from the Spirit Breaker already, and Relapse Gamer right there. Ooh, they do get a big overwhelming odds, and they actually turn around. Hopox has the Omni Slash out. The Shikuchi able to dodge away from the rest of that. Big move speed. Duel now. A little greedy for Trash has arrived. Lots of damage on the Weaver. Doesn't have time-lapse available. Escaping for now, but under the dust, and Waffle Eats Pancake going to be the one that finishes it off. Trash has arrived, able to heal up thanks to the press the attack and the healing ward from the Juggernaut. Trash's Arrive will survive, and this is a nice bounce back for the side of Make Turbo Turbo again. Kill streaks on Ronan Swanson and Trash has arrived. Getting things going here. Dual damage. Well, they didn't get the dual victory on that one, but still gradually building up. Finding kills with it. See, Sacred Relic done nearly at the Talisman for Talismanic. Very appropriate Radiance build. Yeah, has the Armlet already as well. Lots of damage coming out of this Wraith King. Another duel ready on Trash has arrived, which means the Legion Commander going to be perhaps looking to get on the hunt. Double damage picked up by Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. Silence comes through. Cephalor looking to turn this around. The charge in. Nether Strike back. Setting up on the Legion Commander. And going to go down. They are going to find their return kill on Cephalor. Raiden in a bit of a tricky situation here up the top of the river. Thieves coming out from Ronan Swanson. Did go with that facet. Still double damage on Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. Means quite a bit of damage coming out from Silencer. And now Relapse Gamer in on the back line is going to try to chip away at Waffle Eats Pancake. Now going to turn over towards Ronan Swanson. Does get pulled by the Sinister Gaze, but is going to go down. Now riding back in. Finishes off Lil Bok Choi, and Relapse Gamer chases down Waffle Eats Pancake through the banishment from the disruption. That's 4 dead on the side of Make Turbo Turbo again. Marci Beaucoup with a big answer back after seeing a little bit of tempo go the other way. Marci Beaucoup very quickly answering. We're going to immediately go for a duel on the respawn, trying to find on Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, but it's done into the swap. It's going to be there to save. Now Trash has arrived. It's going to go down immediately off of the respawn. Relapse Gamer paying some respects to Raiden for that save. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey doing the same. On the side, it looks like Seth Lord trying to steal the Wisdom Rune, but Fofox able to secure it and bring down the Spirit Breaker. But Legion Commander going down and the tower being taken. Marci Beaucoup going to be pretty happy with that trade in space at the end of the day. Talismanic and Relapse Gamer continuing to stay at the top of the net worth. It's not a big jump down to Hopox, though. Right there up with the Weaver. Got the Maelstrom and the Yasha working on that Manta style. Be a little more elusive. Especially into the Silencer, the Manta style is going to feel good. Because you need that Dispel. It does have the Reverberating Silence, so it's going to get reapplied, but it will at least be shortened if you get the Manta off immediately. See how much Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey able to play around that with the timing of the Global Silence. You can keep an eye out for the Jug to use Manta and then immediately get answered by the Global when they know that it can't be dispelled. Marci Beaucoup, they're going to look to take down the Tormentor. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey gets very low. He's going to remember to go back into the Healing Puddle. I constantly forget this. And they're going to get the Shard for the Spirit Breaker. Charge of Darkness bonus speed. 500. Is that all that does now? I mean, that's still pretty good. I think the Scepter and Shard got switched at some point, and the Scepter, when it was the buff for the Charge of Darkness, did more. As they are going to connect with the Smoke and the Charge on Waffle Eat Pancakes. Global Silence is going to prevent the duel. Force Staff and the... Oh, Trash has arrived, really wants this kill. The swap is there. Again, they deny the duel on the Silencer. Relapse Gamer getting controlled up for the moment. And forced to jump backwards. Now in a little bit of a tricky spot. There's the duel. They have the damage. Wave of Terror comes through, and Cephalor's actually going to bring down Trash has arrived. Don't think it was a duel victory. Now a big Omni Slash brings down the Wraith King once. Cephalor going to get brought down as well. Relapse Gamer does finish off the Shadow Demon, but Ronan Swanson falls. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey just laying in these glaives from the back of these fights. Stun comes out. Control up. It's a full team wipe for Marci Beaucoup, bringing down Make Turbo Turbo again. They're gonna bring... Oh, they've got a big midwave. Maybe it's just the skeletons. It's a decent-sized midwave. And with everybody dead... Oh, more skeletons arriving. This tower is gonna get pretty hurt. Got just the Orb of Blight on the Weaver. No full Desolator yet, but, I mean... Right-click damage is here, and the skeletons... They are no joke. Everybody respawning for Make Turbo Turbo again? No. Except for the Juggernaut, dead for a little bit longer, having gone down last in the fight and being the highest net worth for them. But immediately they're going to look to fight under the towers. They do have the Fortify available. Talismanic still a ways away. The swap save is there again. Is it enough to get Talismanic out? Meanwhile, Raiden getting controlled up in the Pit of Malice. Trash has arrived. Is going to go down. Double kill for the Ceph Lord again. Lobok Choi falls. They do eventually bring down Raiden, but it was enough to save the Wraith King. Now both of the supports continuing to stay aggressive behind the barracks. Another strike forward, but Hopox is back up, has the healing ward as well. Swap back on Ronin Swanson. Raiden trying to escape now. That healing ward is going to get Ronin Swanson back up. Plenty of health. Raiden did go down, and Ceph Lord will follow. Well, Raiden had died a while ago. Has the Ags? Has the Ags. That's what was going on there. So good answer. Tough breaks for this Legion commander recently. Her game getting pretty stalled out for a while. Working on an Orchid to try to secure some of these duels and lock down some of these heroes. We're pretty elusive. You've got, like, it's a... Silencer is an incredibly static hero, and Wraith King is very kiteable. But, like, Weaver's always all over the place, Spirit Breaker's always all over the place, and Vengeful Spirit is making up for the lack in mobility of the Wraith King and the Silencer with these swap saves. Raiden's been incredibly on top of it. With, like, 3 critical saves in a row. Reeves finished on the Underlord, looking at the Rod of Atos next. Sleipnir, pretty nice on the Wraith King these days, with the buff to AoEs and basically a second Pit of Malice. Rod of Atos is finished. They do have the Manta style on Hopox now. Next, looking at the Maelstrom and the Ags. Poply's Pancake, Glimmer Cape, Aether Lens. Force Staff being worked on for the Lich. I thought somebody else had a Force Staff. The Hurricane Pike on the Silencer that I think I'm thinking of. Who's going to take this Aegis? Because Talismanic did not want it, being a Wraith King, already having a respawn of their own. It's going to go to Relapse Gamer. Swap back on Trash has arrived. Raiden in the middle of a lot of heroes. Charge forward is going to get blocked out by the Pit of Malice. Chain Frost coming out, but there's not much of a target. Does actually manage to bounce over to Ceph Lord. So it's causing a bit of an issue. Talismanic in the middle of everybody with the blink in. Now the duel out. Global Silence in response to try to help keep Ceph Lord alive. And they're going to bring down Trash's Ride. Talismanic is going to go down already for... Oh, didn't have the mana! Didn't have the mana for the respawn. And so it's 2 down on either side. Relapse Gamer chasing forward, but needs to deal... Oh, has the time-lapse away and able to bring down Ronin Swanson in the process. Cancels the Omni Slash and survives that. Raiden and Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey chasing forward now, right in the middle of the Tier 4 tower is going to pop. Hopox, though, getting dealt huge damage by Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, and the swap is going to secure that kill. And Relapse Gamer now with the finished Desolator and still sitting on an Aegis. Just going to go right into the Tier 4s. They're going to check if these guys have buyback. They do have buyback available on the Jug. I think they have to use it if they want to keep this game going. And they still have the Vengeful Aura from the Ags. They're going to get a duel. Oh, this is a big one. Into the Blade Mail, but the control, again, it is going to be enough. But they get their return kill, and they have the Weaver respawning. I can't believe this Juggernaut isn't buying back here. Swap back from Raiden. Going to be the last effort of the illusion, but the Nether Strike secures it. Ronin Swanson does manage... jump in on the back and finish off Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. It's going to force Relapse Gamer and Ceph Lord back a little bit. Damage from Relapse Gamer is big. Damage into Ceph Lord, though, is big as well with that Shadow Poison. Real Life Gamer fighting into it, and now Talismanic's back into the action. This fight has just been so continuous. The Juggernaut is going to respond before the game's over, so we'll maintain that buyback for the future. And the Lich and Legion Commander respawning as well, but now Raiden's back in, swap back on Waffle Eats Pancake. Maybe a little ahead of themselves here. The rest of the team focusing up on the tier 3s. Raiden's going to go down once, immediately rooted up by the Pit of Malice again. Keeping people at bay from getting over here to defend the tier 3 tower, though, they are going to be able to find Talismanic. Real Life Gamer got brought down as well up here. You managed to get Talismanic out, but it's not quite going to be another set of barracks for the side of Marci Beaucoup. So signs of life here still for Make Turbo Turbo again. It's going to be an uphill battle, but they're getting some opportunities to keep this game online here. Okay, you can see rush over to the secret shop. Wanted to see what was on both of those couriers. Did I ever... Not convinced that that's what's on the Juggernaut's courier, but maybe he's going for the Ags first. That is what was on the Juggernaut's courier. I was very confused because they were both shipping a point booster. And I was like, I feel like one of them is not getting a point booster, but they were in fact both getting a point booster. Yeah, both looking at the Ags next. 14k net worth lead, 37 to 27 at 31 minutes into the game. Raiden's smoking with Cephalord. Greg Plino's Great Uncle Bailey sweeping in behind. I think they have vision. Crashes arrive here, charge forward, stun up, Nether Strike back. This Legion Commander. This Legion Commander is like getting Legion Commandered. Like, that is the kind of kill a Legion Commander is supposed to be doing to the other team. But just these charge forwards, the smokes, the way the support duo on the side of Marci Beaucoup is playing, just like hunting down and killing off the hero that is normally doing the same in the other direction. Talismanic can get a little bit of pressure on the tower with the skeletons here, but no proper creep wave means backdoor protection is alive, and Firestorm able to quickly clear out those skeletons. Not too much of a threat. Are going to see Marci Beaucoup group up. With the tower dead, they want to bring down these barracks. Not feeling like they need to wait for a... wait for another Aegis. Is a tier 3 mana draft. Are we sure about this, Raiden? They just nerfed mana draft pretty significantly. As the control up onto Talismanic, big Shadow Poison stacks building up, and the cleaves from Ronan Swanson as well. It's just going to be Talismanic going down once. And now do they have more control? The slow is out. Global Silence is going to protect them, and now Cephalord charging through. Greg Plino's Great Uncle Bailey teeing off from the low ground, turning down Ronan Swanson. Wolbox, though, gets off into the Omni Slash, and the duel onto Talismanic, but it's not going to be quite enough. Gets brought down, but it's not going to finish him off in time for the duel. Wolbox jumps forward onto 2, though. Raiden in on the backline. I mean, this is going to be a one fight for the side of Make Turbo Turbo again. 4 dead, and Raiden will go down again. One last swap just to be... just to make space. And, you know, I was saying it as a joke, but it actually was real space. Because in the time of that fight, Relapse Gamer bringing down the bottom barracks, and maybe look... no way you're going to look for more 1v3 here. Okay, gets the ranged barracks as well. So 1 barracks left standing. And Relapse Gamer, absolutely no fear here. Has the S and Y, so a little bit of defense, but otherwise just straight damage. And of course has, you know, the Shikuchi time-lapse, all the usual tools. Do have the Agnum Scepter finished on Hopox. How are we looking for buybacks? Very few buybacks. No buybacks on the Dire side. So a one fight will be... One fight will be Mega Creeps at least. You gotta remember that these tier 4s got brought down low about 10 minutes ago or something. And with the Desolator on Relapse Gamer, AC on Wraith King, those buildings are gonna disappear if they get the chance. Relapse Gamer and Talismanic gonna pick up the Shard on their own, goes for the Wraith King, so not gonna have to worry about mana problems anymore. I don't think there is a Diffusal on anybody. You do have the Orchid finished on Trash has arrived. And working on the Crimson Guard. So after the Atos going back to the Aura build... Oh, deep swap from Raiden and just immediately blown up. Trash has arrived. Had farmed up buyback in that amount of time. Lich has it now as well. Buyback's available. It's going to be hard to prevent the Mega Creeps here, but they do have a good team for fighting up high ground. Talismanic can just, no fear, blink in. They are going to buy back on the Legion Commander, standing in the Pit of Malice to fight this. They're going to try to bring down the Underlord first. Here comes the Omni Slash onto Talismanic. Duel out. That's a big target. That's Relapse Gamer. They find the Weaver. Crash has arrived. Is going to get brought down as Cephalord charges through. Respawn from Talismanic, who is able to finish off the barracks. Raiden swaps back Little Bok Choi, but the disruption of Ronan Swanson trying to get in on the back lines here. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey able to turn around, taking a lot of damage, though. Hobok's going to be able to charge forward and finish off the Silencer. Buy it back from Ronan Swanson now. But it's just Talismanic left standing and low on health, out of reincarnates. They get the tier 4 tower there as well, so it's Mega Creeps, Exposed Ancient. They do have their fortification, it appears. There's also potential Roche respawn. You gotta guess it from looking at the clock now. It's soon. Like 30 seconds, maybe? Make Turbo again. Like, they should know that Roche could be alive. I'm kind of surprised they don't beeline for it off of this fight. It is going to be up now. Cephalord, where are you charging? You're charging Will Choi all the way in the base. Does have the facet where you hang on to some of that move speed, so just gonna Shadow Blade get right out of there, but my goodness. It is going to be Raiden and Talismanic on their way into the Roche pit. The Roar is going to alert Make Turbo to their presence in the Roche pit, but these waves are fully pushed into the base. It's really no possibility of contesting this. Who wants the Aegis? It's going to be Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey that takes it this time. Roshan's Banner in the backpack of the Wraith King for now. Smoke up. Damage Amp Rune spawned, and they got a... That's ridiculous. They got a Haste Rune on their Spirit Breaker, and they got a Damage Amp on their Wraith King as soon as they leave the Roche Pit. This is... like, perfect conditions. They get a swap on a Lil Bok Choi. Does have the Ghost Scepter to survive for the moment. The Global Silence is going to secure the kill. They do have the buyback on Lich available. It's going to be able to buy back here. When Swanson getting chased out. Hopok's getting pretty low as well. Another strike back through the spin, but now getting controlled up and has the Healing Ward down. Talismanic right in the back line. Cephalord is going to be the one that gets brought down, though. Healing Ward still keeping everybody alive. Now they're trying to turn onto the base. Hobox is going to go down. Does not have buyback available on the Juggernaut. Relapse Gamer chunking into trash has arrived. And the swap will finish it off. The Fortify is going to get used. Ronan Swanson goes down with no buyback as well. It's going to be the end of it here. Marci Beaucoup going to secure this game 1 with one last team fight. GG called. Marci Beaucoup charge forward for that game 1 victory. Off of a rough start for them, too. Pretty impressive performance battling it back there. Let's look at... You actually never see a lead, like, it's this tiny lead here. It felt like the lanes went better for Make Turbo Turbo, and they obviously had that start with the like, 3 kills on the rune fight. But yeah, just great tempo setup. I mean... I feel like I give Cephalor... I'm actually not going to give Cephalor MVP for this match. It was a very good Spirit Breaker game. They did make a ton happen. But also the KDA is a little rough. The assists are a big part of it, though. And I think that is highest kill participation. Maybe a little less than... Relapse Gamer is going to get the MVP. And Raiden's actually going to get my support of the game. Because the swap saves were so critical. For how immobile a Wraith King and a Silencer are, the swap was exactly what this team needed. This was a pretty well-crafted draft here. You had lots of physical damage to take advantage of your armor reduction. You had a good front line to give Greg Polino's great Uncle Bailey space in these fights. He ended up being quite big. Getting back ahead of the Sith Lord, who was ahead of him at one point. So yeah, good stuff from Marci Beaucoup. Make Turbo Turbo again. There certainly was a lot of good stuff for them in this game too. I think they just couldn't quite play around timings they needed to. I think they needed Trash Has Arrived to be able to convert that very winning lane into a few more kills early, but I think the problem was the Underlord and the Juggernaut were not cores that could fight around the Legion Commander, and they needed to play more like Trash Has Arrived plus the 2 supports. But I don't know if that was enough, especially with how much the like Spirit Breaker and the Weaver were able to show up to like every fight. I think it made it really hard for this Legion Commander to play the game that she needed to play. And so once the Legion Commander's game couldn't get off to like a snowball, then you're just left with like 3 cores that don't really want to fight immediately, supports that can't take fights without a core at all. And so the execution of this draft just becomes really hard if you don't snowball it. So if they want to go for a draft like this again, I think they need to adjust their cores a little bit. Make sure you either make sure you have support that can secure 100% secure kills for a ganking hero like Legion Commander, or have cores that can help with that. Or just go for a different direction. You don't have to go with this like Legion Commander heavy ganking draft. Plenty of other options on the table. I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of pivot to something very different for game 2. Yeah, with that, I'm going to stop yapping. I'm going to give myself a little break, and we'll be back soon for game 2.
Shake it, mama, shake it for me. Get me busy with that ass, 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 ass. Work it good, work it the best. Ooh, let me know I need ass, 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 ass. I can make you shake if you want the beat too. I can make you nude. Ass, 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 ass. Slap in the real, I can feel it gets so red. It's ass, 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 ass. Ooh, baby, let me get it. Let me get your breast in that ass, 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 ass. And when we do get it on, baby, you will know. Let me see with me, baby, the rest of me is the ass, ass, ass. Rock it, baby, rock it like you bad. 'Cause what you have is some ass, 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 ass. Don't get me wrong, I think you're top class. I'm just feeling that ass, 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 ass. Let me get you hype, and you won't regret. I can make you wet. Ass, 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 ass. Take it to the end, and we're all okay. This is for the big fat ass, 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 ass. Ooh, baby, let me get it. Let me get your breast in that ass, 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 ass. And when we do get it on, baby, you will know. Let me see with me, baby, the rest of me is just ass, ass, ass. Baby, let me get it. Let me get your breast in that ass, 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 ass. And when we do get it on, baby, you will know. Let me see with me, baby, the rest of me is just ass, ass, ass.
All right, we're back for game number
10
2
seconds
between Marci Beaucoup and Make Turbo Turbo again in week 8 of the group stage of We Like Dota League 2025. Marci Beaucoup could secure a top spot in the Wex Division, or middle division here, with a second win. Make Turbo Turbo again, looking to do the same if they answer back with a win of their own here. Both still in a good position going into the playoffs, which will be starting very soon, most likely this week. Similar bans coming out from Marci Beaucoup. Monkey King Razor. Viper band out again by Make Turbo Turbo again. This time they're going to take away the Spirit Breaker that Cephalord had a great performance on last game. Clockwork as well taken out. See if they go for the Pudge. They banned that from Cephalord's pool last game. If they decide to let that one through. They're going to ban the Lions. They will allow the Pudge if they so choose. I imagine they're going to take it on Marci Beaucoup.
Radiant's pick.
Ban out the Sand King.
Dyer's pick.
And yeah, there's the Pudge. I think this team is always going to take Spirit Breaker or Pudge if either one of them are let through the first phase ban. Witch Doctor is going to be their response for Make Turbo Turbo again. I'm a little surprised. Like, they had to be expecting the Pudge because they banned it out last game. I guess the Clockwork ban is to protect the Witch Doctor ult, but the Pudge can be a problem for that as well. Yeah, and the Lion kind of protecting that as well with the ground targeted stun. But you can still go for like a Jakiro. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for the Vengeful Spirit for Raiden again, though. Yeah, I would have expected something like an Ancient Apparition or something that's a more direct counter to a Pudge. I think Witch Doctor does pretty well. Like, the Maledict, that's the name of his spell. The Maledict does a good job of like
10
punishing
seconds to
rot,
go.
so it helps. Stun, obviously a
5
good cancel
seconds.
for the Clutch ult. It was not a bad pick into the pot, for sure. Bristleback, Ursa, yeah, exact same bans coming out from Marci Beaucoup, I believe. I think they banned the Bristleback first phase last time.
Dyer's pick.
Shadow Shaman gonna be the other ban. Shadow Shaman Lion. Like, obviously concerned about control. Hex in particular. They could be setting up for like a Storm Spirit mid. I mean, a lot of heroes
10
hate
seconds
getting
to go.
controlled, obviously. Maybe like a Primal Beast with the Clockwork ban as
5
well.
seconds.
I feel like that matches up decently into the Pudge. You don't really care if you get hooked. In fact, if you have, I believe, because I've seen it happen with Magnus Skewer. Um, it's like really funny into Magnus Skewer. If you have Trample going on Primal Beast, it doesn't care how he's moving. It just cares that he's moving. And so if a Primal Beast gets hooked through some of the Pudge's teammates with Trample going, um, it would do a lot of damage, which would be really funny. With Magnus Skewer, it's particularly funny because the damage gets dealt to the Magnus and he just like dies when he tries to skewer the Primal Beast. Uh, no idea if that's on the table. I'm not even sure if that's a hero they particularly play. Just trying to think about what these bands are targeting.
Radiant's pick.
They're gonna steal the silencer early here. I mean, it was a level 30 silencer, so they are gonna pay it some respect here. Yeah, there's gonna be the swap again. They're running it back. The Dragon Knight was let through, but they opt for the Wraith King. Centaur, this is a fast draft. These teams know what they want. I like that this is a very different draft for Make Turbo Turbo again, and I like that this is a very similar draft for Marci Beaucoup, because I think that is what both teams. I think Marci Beaucoup, they were on some of their best heroes. Obviously, there's some changes. Spirit Breaking getting banned out, Pudge getting picked up instead, and the Silencer getting
5
banned
seconds.
means they'll need a different mid hero. I could see them going for the Dawnbreaker. I think that's something else we've seen Greg Polino's great Uncle Bailey play. Dragon Knight is left through and not picked up by Marci Beaucoup, so it is going to get picked up by Make Turbo Turbo again. There's the Ancient Apparition, which is going to be a mid-Ancient Apparition, isn't it? So, like, Greg Polino's great Uncle Bailey having just played Silencer mid, I bet this is a mid-Ancient. They are giving me a treat here, Marci Beaucoup, because if you know anything about me as a Dota player, you probably know that I'm a level 30 AA. So I am going to be critical of whether this is a support or a mid, but I think it's a mid just based on the Pudge Vengeful Spirit already getting picked. Same last phase bans, the OD Phoenix. Is that like because they're going to pick Legion Commander again? I think they have a much better team for a Legion. Although Legion Commander with just the triple strength melee cores. Well, Dragon Knight's kind of a ranged hero. He's like probably more than half a ranged hero, honestly. Which leaves me a little worried that of how your fights are gonna play out, especially when you're dealing with like the Ancient Apparition. Marci Beaucoup run back, exact same 7 bans. With the Quap and Puck to finish it off. Like, the OD and Phoenix bans make sense having seen the Legion Commander last game. The OD ban, like, that's a hero that often gets banned last phase in this league in general. Just because it's a really hard hero to deal with. If it like, lanes well, and if it snowballs, it can win the game itself. But the Phoenix is interesting. Like, is that... Curious if this is a hero they like all. Yeah, they'd only banned it once before. I don't think it's a hero. They have played it once. They play it in a core role. Oh, they did. They did play a. No, this was a core. Vengeful Spirit. That we played Relapse Game. Okay, so this could be a support AA. And this could be Relapse Gamer. Well, these teams have played before as well. Marci Beaucoup got a 2-0 the first time around. I thought this was a new matchup, but I guess it was not. I think they played pretty early in this. So they have played a core Venge support. Okay, so that's what they're respecting with that Phoenix ban in the last phase. Is a draft that they did lose to, which was a last pick or a late pick Phoenix and a support or and a Venge moved to core. I'm still suspicious that this AA is a core AA. Mostly because he plays so similarly to Silencer. With having like high magic damage, a Silencer's pure, but like high intelligence based right clicks, long range, fragile, global ult that has high impact,
Dyer's pick.
area control, but like soft control. Tide Hunter to round it out. I think it could be like a mid Tide Hunter. I think it's going to be a mid AA. I'm excited to see an AA no matter where it goes, and it pairs really nicely with the Pudge, the Tide Hunter as well. All of these heroes have set up. We should see some really good ults, and the Cold Feet should be pretty free in this game as well. They just have so many targeted stuns, and it's just going to be like immediate chain into Cold Feet. Make Turbo again. I'd like to see. I still like the idea of like a Storm Spirit or something. There is a lot of control. Anti-Mage.
Who's it gonna be?
I guess it's a mid DK. No? Unless they're moving. They must be, well, never say never, but I assume they're switching up positions quite a bit here. Because Trash Has Arrived was on the mid Legion Commander last game. I would be very surprised if this is a mid Witch Doctor. But maybe. I think Junior is also new, unless their name is different. I think that's a player swap from Game 1 to Game 2. Relapse Gamer has the Arcana on the Vengeful Spirit. It's a nice AA set as well. Tide set's pretty good. Same set on Talismanic. Cephlord, I've said it before, I hate this Pudge set. It's an excellent Pudge set. It gets good points for Hat Draft. Naked Witch Doctor, Naked Anti-Mage. The other sets on Make Turbo again are quite good. The Dragon Knight set's sick. I like the Silencer. It's kind of a classic. And the Centaur looks great. But no, this Hat Draft is definitely going to Marci Beaucoup. They've got a lot of good stuff. I think I favor Marci Beaucou's gameplay draft as well. I think Make Turbo again have a similar problem that they have with their last draft. I think with this Dragon Knight Anti-Mage core duo, you're just not gonna have the... You're not gonna have the, like, early fights. And Marci Beaucoup has really good early fights.
Better get ready.
Like, at least as good as last game, and they were quite good last game. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I think there's definitely space for this draft to play out. I think especially if they can stall, I think it's just, like, Marci Beaucoup is not a team I would want to play a stalling game against. Because they're... To me, their signature thing is the tempo that they play with their supports. It is rated on the AA, Relapse Gamer on the Vengeful Spirit, Franklino's Great Uncle Billy on the Tide. So assuming the same positions, it's not a core AA, it is a core Venge. They're hiding in the Roach Pit. Talismanic gonna lead the charge. Is gonna lead the charge directly into 5 heroes, but the hook down onto the low ground, onto Hopox. But it's a big curse. It's a big blood grenade. It is going to be Raiden picking up first blood. Waffle Eats Pancake, though, is going to immediately get the kill back on Cephalord. Greg Polino's Grams Bailey going to try to chase down Trash has arrived. Oh, but the kills are out again. It's going to be, once again, 3 kills for Make Turbo Turbo again. Ronan Swanson offers a high 5. And it is met by Trash has arrived. He's going to be starting low. Oh, looking for more. Raiden and Junior. I think Junior's got this kill. Starting cold. Oh, meanwhile. Both sides find a kill. Oh, Junior could be in trouble now, but I don't think Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey has a way to stay on top of them. Relapse Gamer finds the kill on the... who was that? On Trash has Arrived, the Witch Doctor. Did opt to TP home, though, so now it's just going to fully miss the first, like, wave and a half. So even with that kill, it's going to be a rough start for the Venge. Again, I believe it's going to be Core. This is going to be your Chain Stun that you're going to see a lot of. The Wraith Fire Blast into the Cold Feet. Waffle Eats Pancake going to be taking quite a bit of damage. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like they are fully switching up the roles here. The Box taking over mid on the Dragon Knight. Junior... I don't know why I'm blanking on who the other... Lil Bok Choi is not playing this time around. Junior is stepping in. So yeah, it looks like that change has kind of pivoted how lane. Also still the weird tiling bug on the river, which is fun. We've got kind of 2 fights happening in the top lane. You're getting brought pretty low. Will be okay. Trash has arrived, now coming back over. Has the Maledict available, and the slows from the Mana Break. Blink forward from Junior. Relapse Gamer is going to be taking quite a bit of damage, trying to dodge, getting good jukes through the trees. Now going to turn with the stun, still taking damage from the Maledict. One more tick, I think it's going to do it, but the hook is there from Cephalord to get the return kill. So both cores go down to the 2 supports. And now Cephalord level 2, Trash has arrived, does get level 2 now as well. Able to turn, get the cask out. Cephalord, 5 seconds on the hook. Trash has arrived, has to be so careful. Down bot here is getting pretty low. Talismanic and Waffle Eats Pancake. Sitting pretty low. Yeah, Trash has arrived, knows the danger of this hook. Mid lane, this mid, like, nothing's gonna happen. This mid lane. I say that, Hopox might be able to kill break here. Well, these are both, there's like 2 of the most passively durable heroes in the game. I do think you're gonna need a point in Kraken Shell, like probably a level 4. Anchor Smash helps too, though. And you've got the built-in, well, the Blubber is just the Dispel. Up top, they're gonna find a kill on Relapse Gamer, same way as last time. Maledict into the Mana Break is pretty dangerous. Cephalord standing in there with the Rot, taking quite a bit of damage back, though, and the Mana Burn... That Mana Thirst, getting that extra damage. Cask there, Junior blinking behind, and double kill for Trash has arrived. 7-3 at 3 minutes. Kind of a crazy start here for Make Turbo Turbo again. Even more of a good start. And this is what they need, because if they get off to a big start from these lanes, then they can turn that into the kind of tempo they need to combat the kind of tempo that Marci Beaucoup typically brings into a game. This would also be, like, now that I looked back and saw that Marci Beaucoup did get a 2-0 against these guys earlier in the season, and with them now back at the same win-loss records, this would be a big one if Turbo Turbo again can win this game. Like, even just getting the 1-1 split is a big confidence boost going into the playoffs. Mid lane, Hopox off to a lead. Start things off. Going better than the last lane for Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, though. Op Cephalord, no fear, stepping forward with the Rot. Stun out from Relapse Gamer. Not going to quite have enough to finish the kill, though. Damage from Junior is scary, but the damage going into Junior also scary. A lot of damage What did, yeah, it does have the right click. I'm curious if we'll see that come into play as stun comes out. No hook available yet, not quite enough mana. Get the rotation over from Raiden as well. Going through the Twin Gate, but not really able to make something happen. It does mean Junior's getting very forced out of this lane. And go grab a Bounty Rune. Thinks about killing some Tadpoles, but it's just going to kind of wander back to the lane. Has some Tangos coming out, so we'll be able to gradually regen back up. It's going to give more space to Waffle Eats Pancake against Talismanic. Very even lane matchup here so far, and pretty even in the top lane as well. Raiden getting squared up on Junior. The hook somehow finds exactly the right target. Junior dies on the last tick of the rot. Raiden does go down. Ronan Swanson with the TP over. Going to try to get the return kill on Cephalord here. They do have the Maledict going. Damage from the Glaives into the Maledict is pretty big. Relapse Gamer is not with enough mana for the stun, but Cephalord tanky enough to walk this one off. Like, Ronan Swanson will return down to the bot lane. Raiden's actually going to return to the top lane, so not worried at all about Talismanic at this point, who is, again, right up there with Waffle Eats Pancake. Junior's going to secure the Lotus, force Relapse Gamer out of the pool. Arcane Rune picked up by Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, but the faster level 6 from Hopox does mean that they will get the solo kill. Dragon Knight opting for the Frost Dragon. That's going to play pretty nicely into the Wraith King and the Pudge. That regen cancellation. Slow should be pretty nice as well. Up top, still playing with 3 heroes. Crashes Arrive getting brought pretty low. The stun pops onto Junior. Cephalord getting brought pretty low now by the Maledict and the Mana Burn, and Junior going to be able to blink away before going down. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey TPing up here, but Hopox matching it, and no ult yet on the Tidehunter. Relapse Gamer getting brought low, just able to escape. Cold Feet, it's going to pop every time. But like the slows and the stuns that they have on this team, it's so easy to get that Cold Feet to proc. It's a very nice game to be an Ancient Apparition. Raiden's now going to be the one to go over and cover mid. Ronan Swanson looking to potentially do the same. Flux, though, is going to be heading back towards mid, and actually, if Ronan Swanson does come in and sandwich on this AA, this is going to be a very dead snowman in a second. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey making the way over. Still doesn't have the Ravage. Really needs to get a little bit of extra XP here somewhere. Silencer still looking for a way to posture here. Ash has arrived playing with fire a little bit. Wants to finish off Relapse Gamer. Oh, the hook's just off the mark. And bot squaring up a little bit, but they're both so tanky. Lots of durable cores in this. Curious, does Relapse Gamer just... Oh, it's actually going Manta. Curious if they would be rushing Mags, but the Manta first. Junior making rotation here. Now the Ravage is available, though. Junior getting stunned up. Raiden out of mana. Has some mangoes. 3 mangoes. Eat those mangoes. Get some spells going. There you go. Junior going to be forced to retreat now. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. They're going to try to turn onto Hopox now. Raiden able to escape from the right clicks. Junior going to look to pick up that rune. Hook back from Cephalord, who TP's in. Trying to bring down Hopox. Junior finally brings down the Ancient Apparition, blinking back in. No hook for a little bit. Junior gonna TP out of there. Back up to top lane to farm again. Relapse Gamer getting pretty pushed out by just Trash Has Arrived. Switch over to the, not the buyback chart. We don't care about that right now. Big net worth lead for Make Turbo Turbo again. I hadn't even noticed it up here, but 4K net worth lead. Top 3 cores. And even a support above 2 cores. My goodness, that's a big net worth lead at this point in the game. And they're going to look to make it even more as they charge forward. They do get the instant cancel on the Witch Doctor ult, but it's not going to matter. This Witch Doctor is unstoppable. 7-1? 7-1. Trash has arrived on the support Witch Doctor. That's not okay. I mean, this is what Witch Doctor is supposed to do. And when analyzing the draft, I maybe should have given more credit to the early game fighting of Witch Doctor specifically. Though I would say we're still kind of in laning. I mean, the lanes are getting messy now. But yeah, the laning prowess of Witch Doctor and the ability to find kills in very early game is not to be understated. So that's my bad. Ronan Swanson's still lurking in the top. It's kind of just a 3v3 in the top lane now. And make Turbo again. They're feeling good about it now because Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey. That's the second time the Tidehunter secures a rune, but the Dragon Knight secures the kill on the rune fight. Nice hook from Sephlord. Gets Trash has arrived. Junior playing forward though. They're going to get Relapse Gamer, so make Turbo again, getting the better of that trade. Now looks like they're just going to try to retreat.
Trying to bust down Radiant structures now.
Junior, where are you going, Junior?
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
They see Junior. They see him on this creep. It's going to look to escape in a different direction. 4 level difference in the mid. This is crazy. Those early rotations from Great. You can't be here. Junior's here now. Your health and mana are getting burned. Nice Ravage, though, to look for the turnaround with Relapse Gamer TPing in. Swap back on Hopox, low on mana, and Dragon Form has ended. Sephlord here as well, still just level 5. Cast bouncing through. Trash has arrived. He's going to throw down the ult under the tower, but maybe stepping too far up. Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey going to get the kill on Trash has arrived. Deny from Relapse Gamer. The Maledict does finally take out, so it will be a support for a core. But who got that kill? Greg Polino's. That's a good recovery for Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, because that was, I guess it wasn't a huge kill streak. I guess the one previous death kind of split things up. But still a pretty valuable hero. Like, currently leading, again, 2 of the 3 cores on the other side. So, Witch Doctor is an important kill to find. Like, that wasn't support for a core, but it was a net worth gain for the side that lost the core because of this nonsense. Marci Beaucoup now bringing a couple heroes over to the bot lane. Taking a look at this Centaur, who's been pretty uncontested and therefore at the top of the net worth. Do I have an XP? Yeah, this is... I mean, again, Junior's suffering a bit too, but this feels like a bit of the problem. The Dragon Knight's XP is crazy.
Dire's mid tower won't last.
Like, Relapse Gamer looking to make a play up here, but you need so many heroes if you want to kill this Dragon Knight. This Dragon Knight's so big. He's so much bigger than basically everyone else in the game. Gonna bring a few heroes. They have a smoke available. Be letting the wave get pushed out a bit, but the longer you wait, the farther Hopox is gonna get away from you. And now Junior and Trash has arrived. They're gonna be the ones making the rotation. Almost have the Battle Fury, still a bit of a ways out for Junior. They're still looking to set up. They don't have Ravage for 10 more seconds. I think that's the other thing they're waiting for. But here comes Junior, and here comes the Dragon Form. And try to turn it around. Junior, though, is also a little bit suffering in the farm department. But Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey is going to be the one that goes down. Relapse Gamer just forced to retreat. Junior wanting to hunt for more. Blinks up onto the bridge. Stun out. Here comes the Ice Blast. And that's going to be Junior going down. Hopox from the low ground. This is such an awkward place to fight. Swap over from Ray... That was a mean swap from Relapse Gamer. This is probably killing your Ancient Apparition. Hopefully it's enough for you to get out. Oh, maybe they're able to turn this around. We don't currently have the vision to bring down, or to spot out Trash has arrived. Okay, the swap's okay. I take it back. It was a scary swap. Hopox going to help clean up some of these skeletons, pushing in the bot wave. Looks like they maybe want to make an effort to find this Wraith King down here. Going to bring a few heroes. This gets stolen? No. Waffle Eats Pain secured it. I think Cephalord was looking to steal it, but it was already gone. That would have been a pretty big pickup if they did steal that, because the XP difference. Let's look at the XP difference is pretty big. Because it's not huge. This is calling it 4 levels. It feels big.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
Mostly feels big just because of how big the Dragon Knight is. Who does have an Orchid finished. Looking at the Blink Dagger next. I like this from a mid-Dragon Knight. Oh, Greg Polino's great. Uncle Bailey going to get found going through the portal, but also is going to give vision to the Cephalord, who gets the hook on the Witch Doctor, and Trash Has Arrived is going to go down. Waffle Eats Pancake maybe still looking for something. Gets the stun, but there's the Ravage, able to blubber off the Hook Stomp. And now they're going to turn. There's the hook back onto Hopox. Gets stunned up by the Cold Feet, and Dragon Knight's going to get brought down. That's the biggest kill Marci Beaucoup could ask for. Now with some skeletons, they're going to finish off this Tier 1 tower. TP in from Trash Has Arrived. Maybe still looking to fight this Talismanic, sitting a little low. Stun up, Cold Feet there. Swap back onto the Silencer. Ronin Swanton gets absolutely deleted. Waffle Eats Pancake still sitting low, so not really looking to make a bid or a fight here.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
And now Marci Beaucoup looking in a much better position than they did, like, 3 minutes ago. Oh, and Cephalord TPing up to find Junior Talismanic, rotating in as well, but it's not even going to be needed. Tower does get brought down, but Cephalord finding a solo kill on the enemy carry. As good of a start as it's been for 2 of the cores for Make Turbo Turbo again. With that Ice Blast connecting. 2 heroes low, though. It looks like they're going to retreat. They're going to respect the TPs coming in from Waffle Eats Pancake and Ronin Swanson. Replay was great on Lobelli. Maybe looking to bait with that regen rune. Able to dodge out the Hoof Stomp. Yeah, it's good a game as 2 of the cores and Make Turbo Turbo again have had. The AM has had a bit of a rough start. Does have that Battle Fury now, so now the pressure is really going to be on Marci Beaucoup to be able to find and bring down this Anti-Mage. We'll see if they are able to make that happen. They are a team, as I've said, that are very good at creating early pressure.
Tis mine.
I think it can be a little harder with the Pudge than with the... Oh, this is a big kill, too, if they can find it. And with the Spear Breaker is what I was going to say. The charge out, though, well-timed for Waffle Eats Pancake. We'll just get Ice Blast going out. Oh, Waffle Eats Pancake tries to dodge the damage, but does get hit by it. This is going to be close. I think he's going to survive. Yeah, he's going to survive. Not actually that close. Just a level 1 Ice Blast. Cephalord immediately finds TP in from Hopox. Gonna get off the Dragon form, but there's so many heroes surrounding them. The Global Silence is there, but it's not gonna be enough. Gets brought down. Trash Has Arrived, throws down the ult, but now the hook back from Cephalord, and suddenly 3 of your heroes are dead. Rough armlet toggle from Talismanic, but we won't dwell on it too long. With the Maledict, I don't know if it made a difference there. The Maledict might have had him dead anyway, and he had the Reincarnate, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, these Ravages from Greg Polino's Great Uncle Billy have been nice. The Mage Slayer in there too, going for the damage kind of build. And there's a good amount of magic damage coming out from the Dire side, so it does play pretty nicely for them. With the blink up on Cephalord, who's gonna find a courier. Oh yeah, just spotted it on this ward. Manta Style is finished on the Vengeful Spirit, looking towards that Ags next. I feel like this is part of like this game plan with the Wraith King Venge duo. It's just having the 2 heroes that both respawn when they die is really nice. It makes these fights a lot harder for the other side. Marci Beaucoup, they're going to stack up and bring down this Tormentor. It's going to go to the Ceph Lord. Nice little save for themselves. Either of the support shards would have been nice there, because if you got the AA, that's the AoE stun. Midas! What is this? Raiden, I'm very disappointed in you. At least going for the Gleipnir. I do like the Gleipnir, but the Midas, disgusting. Obox is going to get caught again here. This Dragon Knight has just had rough luck with where they're getting out on the map and just running into many heroes from Marci Beaucoup. Marci Beaucoup, they've built up the net worth lead, fully swinging this game back after Make Turbo Turbo again had a great start to it.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business. Radiant's top tower's taking it.
This anti-mage has been unbothered for a while, and now has climbed up to the top of the Dire Core's Boots of Travel on the anti-mage. Some spicy builds happening today. Oh, Trash has arrived. Oh, you don't want a TP there. Oh, does have the Voodoo Switcheroo. The shard. Oh, but comes out of the Voodoo Switcheroo immediately into the Cold Feet stun. There is going to be a lot of TPs to respond to Junior here. He's going to stick around to get the Wisdom, gets the Steal. That is a nice pickup for the Dire side. See. We have the Radiance finished on the Wraith King. Looks like going for the Desolator in the absence of a Weaver on the team this time around. Player, something coming up on the courier for Tide. It's just some mangoes. Nothing else in the build plan for the moment. Blink also playing on the Wraith King. Usually going to pick that up before the Desolator. We'll see how that goes. They're going to finish off the tower. Not much of a response here from Make Turbo Turbo again. Feels like they are a little bit on the late game plan now with this anti-mage, but they're going to have to survive quite a few team fights to get to a point where this anti-mage is huge, especially if the Ceph Lord... Oh, nice blink away from Junior. If Lord's going to keep chasing this, I don't think there's a world where they catch up to the anti-mage here. Yeah, the call comes out from Relapse Gamer. Let's just push this out. Junior going to hop through the gate, head over to the other side of the map to get some safe farm. I think Junior's been doing a really good job of, like, fully avoiding Marci Beaucoup for the last, like, 10 minutes. Which is exactly what you need. And I think that's part of the plan with this Boots of Travel. But now you really, like a Yasha coming out, like you really need to start getting items that are going to start impacting your fights. Not that the Boots of Travel don't do that in any way. The movement speed is nice. Going to be contesting. Oh, nice gank from Trash has arrived, finding Raiden on the back. And yeah, just trading tier 2 towers for the moment. Talismanic is going to TP in response. That is going to get a response out. Tower is going to fall. Hopox gets a nice initiation with the Blink Dagger reveal. Global Silence as well. Swap save. The Ravage is huge again! Riglino's Grey Uncle Bailey turning this one around, or trying to at least, but now getting caught up in the Maledict and the Ward. And is going to go down. Relapse Gamer trying to get out and is going to be able to TP away the Dragon Tail already used. So that could have been, I think, more disastrous, but it was still very good. I mean, really only missing out on the Venge kill, because they got the AA killed before that started, and the Wraith King was never really there. He TP'd out before the fight broke out. Nice response from the side of Make Turbo Turbo again, seeing that Wraith King TP away, and getting that pick off on the AA. They were like, okay, now we have an advantage, we can take a fight on our terms, and that's going to bring the game suddenly be much closer than it was feeling. Less than 1k net worth lead. Like, it wasn't a huge lead from Marci Beaucoup, but it was feeling difficult for Make Turbo Turbo again to get what they needed out of these fights. But now pretty well positioned. They are going to find a Centaur War Runner. Waffle eats Pancake and gets stunned up by the Cold Feet. Ice Blast already on him. That guy is going to get brought down. Junior just going to let the TP away. Ronan Swanson trying to escape into the pit, but the swap is going to be there. Canceled TP, stun out, and where did that guy go? What was that last bit of damage? Anchor Smash. Double heroes dead, right back the other way. Marci Beaucoup looking to threaten high ground here. No Aegis picked up yet. They've got the skeletons. There's no Fortify available. They must have seen that get used. It's going to be a tier 3 tower here at 25 minutes. The damage into the barracks is pretty big. Is this just a full set of racks? Puck stepping up, has the Dragon Form available. It's going to get the stun now, see if they can get the return kill. Can they bring down the Wraith King twice? Because they definitely can bring him down once. The backline here is pretty strong, though, and they're going to set up the control. Hook is off the mark, but the Ice Blast is not. Global Silence is going to break up this fight a little bit, and it looks like everybody's just going to take that their cue to turn tail and run. Tower getting brought low by the Anti-Mage. And it looks like they're just going to deny it. That does... The one thing about denying that there is that they did have their other Tier 2 towers up. That was the first Tier 2 to go down, so they don't get the benefit of the Fortify reset. I missed if they... Maybe they used it while the Anti-Mage was taking it, though. Radiant Structures fortified. Okay, so no, that was a good deny. If anything, it was a better deny because it gets their Fortify reset immediately. Eternal Shroud done on Centaur Warrunner. I kind of would have preferred a Pipe of Insight. There's a good chunk of magic damage between the AA and the Pudge. Like, really just those two. There's some other... I mean, there's the Radiance. There's the Mage Slayer. And like Gush and Ravage. There's the Magic Missile. I feel like the team would benefit from a Pipe more than you having an Eternal Shroud. But it's okay. I'm more okay with the Eternal Shroud than this Midas on this Ancient Apparition, which I continue to be upset about. Almost has the Gleipnir, though, so we'll start contributing actually something to the game with the items very soon. And their Autovatos does something in addition, mostly being able to help set up the old feats. Marci Beaucoup going to go into the Roche Pit. This is scanned out. Hopox is waiting along with the rest of Make Turbo Turbo again. Here comes the charge in. Hopox blinks in. Global Silence to start things off. Dragon Tail to stun everybody up. Gonna look to bring down the Wraith King first. It's gonna be a nice Ice Blast connecting onto 3 into the Ravage. They're gonna look to bring down these cores with the Ice Blast. Junior trying to turn around and get some extra damage in. Now they set up on a Ronan Swanson. Junior just looking to bring somebody down or escape. They have just enough health to live through the Ice Blast. But overall, it's 3 dead on the side of Make Turbo Turbo again. Just 1 falling. Oh, Trash has arrived to get in there with a nice voodoo switcheroo, but not quite enough to bring down anybody. Maledict almost enough on Greg Polino's Great Uncle Bailey, but does manage to survive. That probably is enough to stop this Roche. They're also low. They're still trying to go for it, using the Manta Illusions from the Vengeful Spirit to tank it up. You have the Aghanim Scepter on bench, but Relapse Gamer, you can't take this. You would at least need your Tide Hunter, but your Tide Hunter is even lower than you. Tide Hunter does almost have an Assault Cuirass, which is going to be really nice. Didn't really talk about it as much as the last draft, but you once again have the double armor reduction. You got the Gush plus the Wave of Terror, and then Talismanic. I can click up here. Working on the Desolator, doesn't have it quite yet. are going to be able to finish off the Roshan now that they're all back up from the fight. I say they're all. I guess it was only the Wraith King. Does end that Roche pretty low, so oh, and they actually give it to the Wraith King. It would be really funny if one of these supports walked into them and found the first life, but it looks like the Armlet will be there. Junior is going to jump in, has the bash. It's pretty farm now. They're going to find the first kill on the Wraith King. Cephalor getting brought down quite low as well. Is going to fall. Was that 2 lives on the Wraith King? That was 2 lives on the Wraith King. I didn't even see him alive. They're going to bring him down 3 times. What? And Hopox found the Vengeful Spirit somewhere. And now he's going to find the Tide Hunter. Junior's on top of Raiden. This is going to be a full team wipe. Into their Aegis. They killed Wraith King 3 times! What just happened? I literally didn't see him the second life. I saw him, like, I was looking at Cephalor dying, and just looked away just long enough. I think it was, like, there was no chance to check a death summary. I should have checked the team fight. Like, Trash has arrived, I believe, did an absurd amount of damage with Cephalor. I think that's what happened. Made a swap onto the Centaur. Make Turbo again, maybe not respecting the respawn timers, because we are only 30 minutes into the game. Ace Blast is going to come out. It's not going to quite find the targets they want. Is maybe going to set up something on Trash has arrived. Trash has arrived. Oh, nice juke with the Glimmer Cape, but is going to get spotted. Cephalor is there. The hook is off the mark, though. The Wraith Fire Blast will finally be there, though. No need for a Dismember. The big crit comes out. They're going to smoke up. They have 2 dead. Marci Beaucoup, like, this is the tempo that they play with. Even when they get on the back foot a bit, as soon as they get an inch, they're going to look to take even more. And Hopox is going to be the target. Getting pinged out under the smoke. Ooh, the Wave of Terror is just off the mark, though, and able to blink away. Might find Ronan Swanson instead here. Might find a Courier. Might not find either of those. They're going to set up some vision for going high ground. Relapse Gamer is just going to walk up high ground without creeps, hit the tower a few times, and then go, oh wait, what am I doing? This is an illegal maneuver. Never mind. Talismanic leaning forward, gets stun counter-spelled, but now jump in, get the Ice Blast onto 2, Global Silence, going to split things up a little bit. Facing forward, now setting up onto the barracks. Ronan Swanson getting caught over on the side. Ravage comes out onto 2. Talismanic finally is going to go down. Great Blue Nose, Great Uncle Bailey just going to get eviscerated, but now Talismanic back up, but controlled up. Gleipnir there from Raiden. That's going to give Talismanic a bit of space to try to escape, but Junior's right back on top of him. The stuns, though! 3 hero cold feet. Raiden is going to pay for the sins of Talismanic. Relapse Gamer going to look to TP away, is not going to get found in time. And I talked about how good of a cold feet game it is. I didn't talk about the fact that he has the AoE cold feet, which can get even crazier. Talismanic looking to contest Junior's push. Still low on resources, though, and it's going to get brought down in the ghost form. Oh my, it brings down Junior as well. As this game's getting a little spicy. A little bit of all chatting and tipping going both ways. Well, hopefully we're not going to be giving some teams some draft penalties to start off the playoffs. I think if the tipping stops there, we'll be okay. Bloodthorn finished on Hopox. Big damage. I think that's a big part of how they've been able to, like, shred some of these heroes. I think, like, Bloodthorn into Death Ward. It is Death Ward. I don't know why I thought it wasn't Death Ward. But it is Death Ward. Bloodthorn into Death Ward, I think, is a big part of this. Ooh, the smoke immediately into a blink. Find Ronin Swanson. The Force Staff is not going to be enough to get away from the Cold Feet. That's that breaking distance talent. Trash has arrived is going to look for the return kill, but oh, Death Ward doesn't really find anybody, and now Relapse Gamer is in. The control is there. Junior does blow up Raiden, but not before Raiden gets off the Chill Touch, or the Ice Blast, and there's a big crit from Talismanic. There it is. Can they hear me if I...
Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
They're forgetting that the caster is also an admin of the league. Buyback from Witch Doctor. Big control. The Ravage is there as well. They're going to find the Witch Doctor and the Centaur. Global Silence comes out. Hopox is dealing big damage. It's going to bring down the Wraith King once, but Hopox will fall as well. Blink forward from Talismanic. Ronin Swanson getting controlled up. Buyback from the Dragon Knight, but doesn't have the Dragon form available. And I think this one's going to be just about over. Ultra kill from Talismanic. One last fortify, but this is looking like it's going to be secured. Oh, they're thinking about doing some fountain diving. Oh, the hook out of the fountain from Seth Lord. Hopox gets brought down again, and that's going to be the game. So Marci Beaucoup, they're going to secure themselves the 1 or 2 spot. Relapse Gamer's just going to die. There's nobody alive to fountain dive. Well, this is a fun little rivalry that we've got brewing now. As things get a little spicy to end things off. Marci Beaucoup secure the 2-0. Secure a top spot in the playoffs. But Make Turbo Turbo again, they showed pretty great performance in both of these games. And definitely are going to be another team to watch out for as we get into the playoffs for the Wex Division. And great performance all around. Talismanic finishing it off. Like, even after... when I saw him die 3 times in a row with the Aegis, I was like, oh, I think like that's the turnaround point for Make Turbo Turbo again. I think that's what this was. But then it just swings right back the other way. And yeah, that's going to do it for us tonight, and that, I believe, does it for the group stage of We Like Dota League 2025. Again, playoff brackets coming out very soon. Very much looking forward to it. That'll probably be in the next couple days. Just looking to finalize some things on our side. Make some final decisions about how it's going to all play out, where all of our teams are going to land, especially any teams potentially moving around between divisions based on the results of the group stage and some of our interdivisional matches. It's going to be a really good time. I'm looking forward to seeing how all of these divisions play out. Who is able to take it all, how we see things continue to play out. Like, we got the, patch, the big patch, a lot. Like, there's usually a big patch during WLDL, but it often comes pretty close to the end. I think it's pretty fun seeing it as early as it did, because now we've gotten a few letter patches adjusting it, so the meta's constantly shifting, and the meta, even without the letter patches, the meta is certainly not solved at a pro level. So yeah, this is fun time to see some casual Dota. Excited for more of it. Thanks all for joining us. Thanks to both of these teams for playing some fun games. We'll see you for the next one when we get into the playoffs, hopefully pretty soon. Have a great rest of your week.